Your body knows things your mind refuses to admit. It knew before you did that something was wrong in that relationship. It knew before you could name it that the room you walked into was full of something heavy and unspoken. It knew before any evidence existed that someone you loved was carrying pain they had not yet told you about. And it told you, not in words, in weight, in tightness, in the specific physical sensation of something landing in your chest that was never yours to carry, but arrived anyway and settled like it belonged there. You have been told this is anxiety. You have been told it is overthinking, hypersensitivity, a nervous system that needs to be regulated and managed and brought under control. But Carl Jung discovered something that your doctors and your therapists and everyone who told you to breathe through it completely missed. What you feel in your body is not a malfunction. It is information. And the fact that it arrives physically, that it lands in your chest and your stomach and your throat before it ever reaches your conscious mind, is not a weakness. It is the most precise form of intelligence you have ever possessed. Stay with me. Because what Jung discovered about why empaths feel everything physically will permanently change how you understand every sensation your body has been trying to tell you about for your entire life. Carl Jung said that the body and the psyche are not separate systems. They are one system, speaking the same language. And the empath, whose psychic permeability is extraordinary, whose boundary between self and other is naturally thinner than most people's, experiences this unity between body and psyche more completely than almost any other type of person. You see, most people think empaths feel too much because their emotions are out of control. But Jung's research revealed something far more specific and far more important. Here is what nobody tells empaths about the physical sensations they carry. And trust me, once you understand this, you will never again try to talk yourself out of what your body is telling you. According to Carl Jung, every empath carries within them what he called somatic emotional intelligence, the capacity, not learned but innate, to receive and process emotional information through the body before the conscious mind has any awareness of what is being communicated. Most people process emotion like this. Something happens. The mind registers it. The mind then sends a signal to the body responds. The empath processes emotion like this. Something happens in the environment, sometimes something invisible, sometimes something not yet spoken, sometimes something the other person has not even consciously acknowledged themselves. And the empath's body responds first, before the mind. Before any conscious processing, before any decision to feel or not to feel, the chest tightens, the stomach drops, the throat closes. The shoulders carry something that was not there when they walked into the room. Jung called this the body as the first receiver, the physical system of the empath that picks up emotional signals the way an antenna picks up frequencies, automatically, continuously, without any ability to turn off the reception. But here is where it gets dangerous for empaths specifically. And this is where Jung's work becomes absolutely essential. Carl Jung discovered that the empath's body does not distinguish between their own emotional signals and the emotional signals of everyone around them. They all arrive the same way, in the same place, with the same physical weight. The grief that is theirs feels identical to the grief they absorbed from the person sitting next to them. The anxiety that belongs to their own life feels exactly the same in the body as the anxiety they picked up from the room they walked through an hour ago. Jung called this somatic merging, the involuntary physical experience of other people's emotional states as if they were the empath's own. And here is the devastating consequence of that merging, that most empaths have been living inside their entire lives, without ever having a name for it. The empath wakes up in the morning already tired, already carrying something, already weighted by an accumulation of emotional information their body absorbed yesterday and the day before, and every day before that. Information that was never processed, never released, never identified as belonging to someone else, that has been sitting in their physical system like sediment, building, layering, getting heavier, and they have been told this is anxiety, when what it actually is absorption. Listen carefully to what happens next, because this is where everything shifts. Jung identified the specific physical locations where empaths most commonly carry absorbed emotional weight. Not randomly, not vaguely, specifically, the chest, where other people's grief and longing and unspoken sadness accumulates. The stomach, where other people's anxiety and fear and unresolved tension settles. The throat, where other people's unexpressed pain, the things they could not say, the words they swallowed, lodge. The shoulders, where other people's burdens, the weight they are carrying that they never asked anyone to share, land on the empath automatically. Jung called these the somatic anchor points, the specific areas of the empath's body that become the physical storage system for emotional information that was never theirs to hold. And the pain, the actual physical pain that empaths experience in these locations, is not psychosomatic in the dismissive way that word is usually used. It is real. It is the physical consequence of carrying emotional weight that was never meant to live in a single human body. But here is the part that will absolutely change your life, because Jung did not just identify where empaths carry absorbed emotion. He discovered why they cannot seem to put it down, and the answer reaches past the physical and into something the body alone cannot solve. Jung said that the empath holds absorbed emotion in their body for one specific reason. It was never given a name. When emotional information arrives in the empath's body, when the chest tightens or the stomach drops, or the shoulders take on a weight that appeared from nowhere, the empath's automatic response is not to identify what they are feeling and where it came from. Their automatic response is to manage it, to breathe through it, to push it down, to continue functioning despite it, to move through their day carrying the unnamed thing as if unnamed things do not count as real weight. But Jung discovered that unnamed emotion does not release, it stores. Every feeling that passes through the empath's body without being identified, without the empath pausing long enough to ask, is this mine? And if it is not mine, whose is it? And why did it land in me? Adds another layer to the accumulation. He called this the sediment of unprocessed emotion. And he said that the chronic physical exhaustion most empaths experience is not a sign that their body is broken. It is a sign that their body has been functioning as a storage system for decades of emotional information that was never identified, never named, never consciously released. So what actually clears it? Not medication. Not telling yourself to stop feeling so much. Not the effort of will that most empaths deploy. The clenching, the breathing, the determined pushing through that manages the sensation without ever addressing its source. Jung called it conscious somatic release. The specific practice of pausing, in the moment when the physical sensation arrives, and asking the question that changes everything. Is this mine? Not in a spiritual sense, not as a mystical practice, as a genuinely curious psychological inquiry. Is this mine? Did this sensation originate in my own emotional experience? In something happening in my own life, my own body, my own unprocessed history? Or did it arrive from outside? From the room, from the person next to me, from the accumulated emotional atmosphere of an environment my body was absorbing while my mind was doing something else? And if it is not mine, the empath does something revolutionary. They give it back, not to a person, not through confrontation, but internally, through the simple, conscious, psychologically profound act of recognizing, this is not my weight. I received it, I felt it, I honored its existence, and now I am returning it to whoever it belongs to, because my body was not designed to be a permanent storage facility for other people's pain. It was designed to feel, not to hold forever. But here is the final piece, and it is the most important thing Carl Jung ever said about the empath whose body has been carrying more than it was meant to carry. He said the physical sensitivity is not the problem. It is the gift that was never given the right container. The empath who learns to feel precisely, who develops the capacity to identify what they are feeling and where it came from, and whether it belongs to them, does not feel less. They feel more accurately. They stop being flooded by an undifferentiated wave of everyone else's emotional reality and start receiving specific, clear information about their own life and the people in it. Jung called this the refinement of somatic intelligence, the transformation of the empath's physical sensitivity from an uncontrolled reception into a conscious tool. And the empath who reaches this, who has learned to feel without storing, to absorb without accumulating, to receive emotional information without converting it into permanent physical weight, wakes up differently, not because the sensitivity is gone, because for the first time it is working for them instead of against them. The body that was once the burden becomes the compass. The physical sensations that once felt like an affliction become the most precise guidance, system the empath has ever had access to, telling them the truth about every room, every relationship, every situation where something is being felt but not yet said. Jung said that the empath who learns to read their own body, who trusts the intelligence of their physical experience rather than trying to manage or suppress or explain it away, possesses a form of knowing that most people will spend their entire lives searching for, the ability to feel the truth of something before it has been spoken, and to trust that feeling completely, without apology, without anyone's permission. The body was never lying to you. It was always trying to tell you something important. You just needed someone to finally tell you it was worth listening to. If the physical sensations you have been carrying finally have a name after watching this, that name matters. It is the beginning of the most important conversation you will ever have with your own body. Share this with the empath in your life who has been told their physical pain is not real, who has been dismissed and medicated and told to manage something that was never a disorder. It was always intelligence. And subscribe, because what is coming next is for the empath who is finally ready to stop carrying everyone else in their body and start listening to what their own has been trying to say.